What is going on, guys? It's ThePowerBauer 2 here. A long time ago, Sega and Nintendo battled it out to see who could create the best possible games with their respective mascots, being Sonic and Mario. That was until Sega failed and flamed out, but anyways, in 2008 we finally got the resolution we all wanted. Being able to hit the living out of either Sonic or Mario in Smash Bros. They even competed against each other in 4 separate Olympic Games. That series hasn't gotten a hold at all. But one thing these two have never done is car racing. I mean, Mario Kart is one of the biggest and most popular franchises of all time. So what did Sonic bring to the table? I mean, he is the fastest thing alive! Well, the 90s was full of rivalries. Mario versus Sonic, Bulls versus Knicks, Bills versus the Super Bowl, OJ versus the Glove. We had it all. Super Mario Kart was an immediate hit, being released on the Super Nintendo in 1992, and just as Sega always does, they immediately tried to copy it for profit, so they came out with Sonic Drift and Sonic Drift 2. And these games blow. Okay, that might be a little harsh. They actually aren't that bad, but in my opinion, Sonic should not be driving in a car since he can run at such high speeds. I mean, the fastest thing alive should race on foot, right? Well, Sega realized it was weird to see Sonic in a car too, so they immediately changed the formula and gave us Sonic R. This game, I mean, they did what we asked of them. Sonic R is even actually the first racing game in 3D for Sonic, but that doesn't necessarily make it better. The characters you start out with are Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, which all makes sense. And Amy, who drives in the car. Just, why? Yeah, for some reason they thought Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles can run super fast, but Amy? Oh no, that's taking it way too far. Some characters you can unlock include Dr. Robotnik and Metal Sonic, who makes sense. I mean, they were both playable in Sonic Drift 2, so it makes sense to bring them back. And then we got Tails Doll, Metal Knuckles, and Egg Robo. Who the f***? I don't know if they were trying to make these new characters that would stick in Sonic games for years to come, or if they just got super lazy. But either way, these were so dumb, and I am so glad we don't have them anymore. The plot of this game is Sonic and Tails are about to go on vacation until they see a sign that says World Grand Prix. Sonic sees that Robotnik is competing, so he enters too. What, did you expect this game to have a deep story or something? Many people do really enjoy this game, and I'll give you this. The music is phenomenal, as most Sonic games are. But if I'm gonna play a racing game from the late 90s, I'm going with Mario Kart 64. Over the next few years, Sega didn't really produce any new Sonic racing games, as their previous ones hadn't done the best, and their main series of Sonic Adventure was just exploding on the scene. However, in 2006, Sega decided to finally change up their formula, and they came out with Sonic Riders. Now this is Sonic Racing. Sonic Riders has the characters racing each other on hoverboards, and each character even has their own attributes. There's even a story mode, and it's actually pretty good. A group of bad guys known as the Babylon Rogues seeks the key to Babylon Garden to unlock the secrets of their Babylonian ancestors. How many damn times can I say Babylon in that sentence? Dr. Eggman tells them that the Chaos Emeralds are the key, so Jet, their leader, and the rest of them go looking for them, where they run into Sonic and his gang, who are also looking for the Emerald. Jet gets away using his Extreme Gear, which directly leads into Sonic and his friends entering the World Grand Prix with their own Extreme Gear. You can even experience the story from both Sonic's and Jet's point of view, as there is a hero story and a Babylon story, which is unlocked once you beat the hero story the first time. The Babylon story has revamped versions of all the original tracks, and I love the idea of getting to play as the bad guys and learn more backstory that way. The story doesn't even fully conclude until you beat the Babylon story, as it has one more race than the hero story, where you battle the Babylon Guardian for the treasure of Babylon Garden. This game even has mission modes! All 3 of the Babylon Rogues have their own missions, and once you get gold in all of them, you are able to play as Super Sonic. Speaking of this game has several unlockable characters, including Shadow, Rogue, Cream, and Knight, who all make sense. And then we have these two. Ulala is from the game Space Channel 5. Okay, and II is famously from Super Monkey Ball. This game was released at Sega's 15-year anniversary, so it makes sense that they would include some non-Sonic characters, and I just love playing as II personally. Sonic Riders was extremely popular. Not as popular as Mario Kart, but it definitely has its fans. Sega rode the success to make a sequel known as Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. This game has the same basic mechanics as its predecessor, but you can perform many gravity-altering moves. A game with zero gravity and its name allows you to alter gravity? Who would have thunk it? The story of this game is so much more in depth, as the Babylon Rogues are now trying to retrieve the Ark of the Cosmos, which will allow them to control gravity around them, and then robots around the world go rogue and everything goes haywire from there. If you expected a normal racing game, Yeah, this is not it. The climax ends with a robot stealing the Ark of the Cosmos, flying into Babylon Garden, and it turns into a black hole. So, Sonic and everyone goes towards the black hole, because that's what you do when there's something that wants to kill you. Go towards it. And they battle the robot to save the world from destruction. Man, for a racing game, I gotta say I love the story mode. This is basically just an improved and enhanced version of the original Sonic Riders, and this series even received a third installment in the form of Sonic Free Riders, which used the Kinect for gameplay. Now, I'm a huge Sonic Riders fan. I mean, I played the first two immediately when they came out, but I didn't hear about Sonic Free Riders until about 5 years after it came out, and there's a good reason for that. The idea to use the Kinect as a hoverboard is a good idea in theory, but nobody actually wanted to play a game like that. Just at least give us the option to use a controller. As far as I'm concerned, this game doesn't exist. Sega then decided that hoverboards were too ridiculous, and they released Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Because they couldn't sell a game if it didn't have Sonic in the title, and why is he back in the car? Actually, the game says that Sonic is racing in the car so that it's fair and an even playing field, which I guess makes sense actually. And look who's back! My boy I has returned! When you play through this game, you can earn Sega Miles, which you can then spend to unlock new characters, tracks, and music. There are 24 tracks in this game, each based on games from Sega's history. This was actually a pretty good idea on Sega's part to create a racing game containing their best and most iconic characters. I mean, they even made different characters exclusive to each console that they were released on. Like Banjo-Kazooie was exclusive to the Xbox 360 version. They were based on their nuts and bolts appearance, which is absolutely trash, but it was still cool to see them in the game. As much as I do not really like the idea of Sonic being in a car, I have to admit, this is actually a pretty solid game. 2 years after Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, a sequel was released under the title Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform. Just gotta keep Sonic in the title, eh, Sega? As the title implies, the race cars can transform throughout the race, and I actually kind of like this idea. This game is honestly as close to Mario Kart as you were ever gonna get when it comes to Sonic and Sega. It's not a bad game, but it's not gonna top anyone's list of favorite racing games when Mario Kart exists. But if you said this was your favorite Sonic racing game, I would not hold it against you, because it is actually very fun. However, I stand by the fact that all of the Sonic racing games where he is not in a car are the best Sonic racing games. The Sonic Riders series gave me so much fun as a kid, and even Sonic R is so iconic, and they both just have millions of fans. And hey, later this year we are finally getting a new Sonic racing game in Team Sonic Racing. Hopefully they listen to what I have to say and they decide to keep him out of a car